Hey guys, this is Alexandria Teapole for the first time. I'm so unorganized. This is my first time, so please forgive me. But, first, let me say, if you hear any noises, it's my neighbors. I live in a small apartment complex, but there's a lot of people. A lot of animals. Speaking of, here's mine. His name's Hostile. Hostile? Okay, well, apparently he's gonna be shot. So, what I wanted to talk about today is my backstory on paganism and where I'm at right now. Okay? So, let's just say where it began. Sorry. It all began when I was 13. My best friend found a Wicca book and tarot cards in her basement. And it just so happened to be her sisters that happened to have died a couple of years before that. Her parents didn't throw anything of her sisters out, She was like 16. It was a car accident, really bad. Anyway, she brings this book to me and she's like, hey, check this out. It's really interesting. Well, I borrowed it for like a week. That book was red. I don't even know the name of the book anymore. I was 13, guys. This was like 11 years ago. So, that's where it all began. My mom ended up finding the book. And she was very offended. My parents were Union Baptist. We live in the South, it's Sundays, go to church, eat, rest, and then go back to church. That's how it was, almost every Sunday. Excuse me again, I'm so sorry. Just had a cup of tea. Anyway, but I wasn't allowed to do that at my parents'. They called it devil worship. It just hurt because I'm like, Mom, this is a good fit for me. I didn't feel right at church. If I missed a Sunday, I got pointed out during sermon. And nobody needs that. Nobody should be called out during a sermon. That should be, about God. It shouldn't happen. So, I secretly practiced. I had one friend that helped, what she could. She knew tarot cards and, protection blessings and stuff like that. But she ended up passing away. So I was left with very little knowledge from her. My parents didn't think it was a good idea. I didn't feel right at church. So I just decided, you know what? If I can't practice at my parents', I'm not going to church. So I pretty much boycotted church until I got married. So, I know that's bad. But, I would meditate and do my own prayer in my own bedroom. Behind closed doors, they don't know what I'm doing, So, now, here I am, 24 years old, and I'm still stuck where I was when I was 13. But, luckily, the guy I married, he really didn't have a religion at all. And, I started talking to him about paganism, and Wicca, and the many different branches that you can take. And I don't know if he was interested because I was interested in it, or if he was really interested. But I ended up getting him to get me a book, which is... Give me a second, guys, I'm sorry. My dog's pushing me. He's a little dog, but he can push. Anyway. Scott Cunningham's Book of Shadows, and I read it. I've read it countless times. It's a pretty easy read. It's not too thick, but my husband's read it once, okay? I'm not sure how to feel on that. Personally, you know, it's his decision. This is my decision. Whatever he chooses, I'll support. But I fell in love with this book. And this has got the laws, you know, harm none, you do what you will. The history on the Sabbaths, and, you know, there's even some spells and rituals in here. And tools. It talks about pretty much everything. I mean, that's a great starter book, but I hate reading. I really hate reading, so I've been watching YouTube videos, you know, and trying to learn all I can. Like, I'll watch 4 or 5 about the same thing, and, you know, I'll make it to fit me. But, so, my second book that I bought, which I bought like 2 months ago. The first book was like 3 years ago. So this one. Silver Raven Wolf, Solitary Witch. Okay, guys, I'm losing my mind. Give me a break. But this book, I haven't even thought about reading it because, wait, it's so hard to even hold. It is like this thick. It is huge. And if you can hear that, I'm sorry, that's my neighbors. But I'll skim it, but it's just too much to read. I'm a visual learner. I think I've said that, but yeah, I'm a visual learner. So that's really hard. But here is my journal. I'm not going to open it and let you all see it because it's just for me. But I'll give you a little sneak peek, I guess. Like, telling you. I don't know. The first few pages, like, I want to be able to pass this down to my kids. You know, my kids, I'm going to let them choose whatever religion they want to choose whenever they want, you know. I'm not going to make them be one thing that they don't want to be. If they want to be Baptist, cool. You can go with Grandma to church. If you want to be pagan, cool. You can stay here. If you want to be Methodist, cool. You know, it's whatever they want. It's what fits them. But I'm hoping, hopefully, one day I'll have a kid that'll want to be pagan. So I'm trying to write down the basic stuff, like the elements, the goddesses, the symbols of the god and goddesses, the difference between pagan, Wiccan, and witchcraft, which there's not really a big difference. I mean, it's branches from paganism. Paganism, I've heard it all the time, it's an umbrella term. So, there's that. But, I'm at a loss for words here, guys. I went brain dead. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up there. But bear with me as I learn, and I attempt to teach myself. That's mostly what these videos are for. If you have an opinion or an idea that could help me or whatever, just put it down there. You know where to put it, down there. Alright, thanks guys. See ya.